hot yoga problems. Ow! Got him. Oh. Got him today, my yogi friends, fans, followers, listeners, tens of loyal brainiacs across the land. Oh boy, what a choice. What a choice, man. It's just one of those things, you know. I'm in a studio that offers a lot of different times. But on Thursdays, the closer studio does not, I repeat, does not offer a 6 a.m. class. And you know me, early bird gets the worm, or early yogi gets the pose. That's what I'm talking about. I gotta be in there. The earliest C2, that is core power 2, vinyasa flow in the Boston office is, it's an office, it's also a studio, if I was speaking accurately. The earliest is 7:15. It's not even 7:15, dude. It's like 7:10. So this is the beautiful thing. When I wake up at 4:30 and I'm like, okay, get a coffee, let's go, man, let's get ready. I had this idea in my mind. It's like inner voice says, no, go back to sleep. We can always do the 7:15 class, which is a lie. In my experience, it's just a lie. Because if I fall back asleep, I don't get up in time to do the 7:15 class, or then I just lose the motivation. And I'm like, I'll just take a walk around the neighborhood, which is nowhere near as intense or challenging. So I don't know how I pushed through this morning. I really wanted to go back to bed. But I feel good now. I think I need to take a moment to reflect on the fact that there are people pouring into that 7:15 a.m. class as we speak, as I sit here before you right now in this present moment. I am finished with my yoga for the day, and those people haven't even gotten started. I'm ahead of the curve. It feels good, even though I feel bad physically because I was broken and dismantled in this recent experience today. I feel good knowing that it's over. Although it's never over, it's a perpetual struggle. But for the moment, I'm a little bit ahead of the curve, and I like that. Oh, the problem of the day is, again, the chin stand. Can someone explain to me who on earth created that pose and why? And what were you thinking? I don't know how to describe it. If you just got to Google it and look it up. It's really insane. Headstands are great. I can do headstands all day long. I can headstand with the best of them. Chin stand is like a headstand, but you're on your chin, so therefore your head is up, your neck is scrunched. It's insanity, and it's not ever, I don't think, going to happen in my lifetime. It's a super ambitious goal. I mean, I need to drop 30 to 40 pounds to even get in the zone of the possibility where a chin stand is feasible. I want to talk about a problem that is really self-induced, and it is your mat location, which to a degree you have control over. Most studios, I would say 99%, almost all of them I've ever been to, except for one studio which no longer exists, sadly. It was a victim of COVID. The problem of the day is poor mat selection. Not the mat itself, but the location. We got to come up with a better phrase. It's poor spot. Deficient spot selection or preference. You might have a strong preference, but ultimately what you deal with is reality. So I'm in a different studio. I'm there early. I'm there what I think is relatively early, but I roll in. There's already like 10 people in the class. There are some serious early yogis coming out in the Clarendon studio, man. And they have all the prime spots. All the corners are taken. And I froze for a minute, and I panicked. And I ended up picking a spot in the front row next to the instructor's mat, the yogi's mat. Now, somebody needs to tell me at the immediate moment I did that that's a huge mistake. What on earth are you thinking? First of all, it probably just sends the wrong signal. Like I'm a teacher's pet. I'm not capable of doing the majority of the poses that the yogi's calling. I shouldn't be up there because it's just going to be me next to her looking terrible. It's almost, in a way, it's informative. It's instructive. Because if I'm standing there in a Warrior 2 triangle, reverse triangle, etc., and she's doing the same flow as she's calling it out in a peaceful, tone, and I'm struggling and sweating and gasping for my life, it's like, here's the ideal state, here is the opposite of that. Don't be this guy. It's like, sometimes people learn more when they're told what not to do versus what to do. Is that true for you? I'm trying to think about a time in my life when that's the case. But I do believe it to be true for yoga. So if people are struggling with a rotated, mountain lift. I don't even know the names of these poses, man. Forward lunge twist. What's the crazy one? Horizon lunge. Yeah! Let's do that more. Give me a break. Horizon lunge is trash. First of all, I can do a lunge. I've accomplished that. It took me 10 years. I can bend my knee. I can actually do a lunge. All right, that's great. Then you lift your arms up. Okay, that's a little more challenging. And then you do a lunge with a twist. That's not cool. I can't do it. My core is not capable. But then you do a twist with your hand down and you reach up. That's crazier. Every sequence gets more intense. But the most intense of those twisty lunge maneuvers is called the horizon lunge, where you're actually balancing on the edges of your feet while you twist in a lunge and reach toward the back of the room, and just like, why? So if you want to see how to do horizon lunge, look at the yogi instructor who's calling the pose. If you want to see what it's not, look at me, and that will help you understand what not to be in life. Maybe that's a new way to educate. I know we talk about like innovation in the classroom. What if we really use people who are terrible at something, like me in yoga, but let's say that they're terrible in math, or they're terrible in history. You bring them up to the front of the class, and you have the smart kid who knows what he's doing, and you say, hey, you want to be like this person, they know the answers, but here's what not to do. Let's solve this equation. A squared plus B squared is equals C squared, Pythagorean theorem. Ow! I remember that from back in the day. And don't ask me what it's used for. I think it helps you understand the length of the long edge of a triangle or something. Is that correct? But only right triangles. Isosceles. Oh my goodness! So chin stands are bananas. Horizon lunge are bananas. I just don't understand how these even came into existence. It's like anytime you think you're in a peak pose, it can be even more peak. What is the ultimate peak pose? That's an interesting question. I don't know the answer to that. Interestingly, when we do cows and cats, I'm not a fan. Oh, what's that thing called when you're up on your knees? Camels. I'd like to take every camel pose I've ever done and chuck it in the toilet and just put a cherry bomb in there and flush it, and blow it up. I don't need it. You don't need it. The world doesn't need the camels. And I will say this: there's some people who say the camel is the peak pose. Oh, and then when you're done with the camel, they're like, I know, maybe you had some crazy things come up. You know, they don't say crazy because that's not the word you're allowed to use anymore. Everything is very sensitive about how you talk to people. You don't want to trigger anybody. There are crazy people in class. We don't want to use the word crazy. It might offend them and cause them to flip out. So I respect it. But it is crazy in the sense that that's a fun word that we used to use all the time to suggest silly or goofy or ridiculous or absurd. So there's lots of acronyms, or not acronyms, what are they called? Syllogisms? No, it's a syllabus. No, it's a colloquial phrase. No, there's a word for this. Whoa, what's it called? Allegories? No. Syllogism, syllables? No. I'm tired, man. Thesaurus, that's what we need. And the thesaurus helps you discover what? Synonyms, baby. Synonyms. That's what I'm talking about. There must be a lot of synonyms for the word crazy. I gotta start incorporating them into my vocabulary, because I've been told a few times, don't say that. I don't know where that came from. That's not a bad word yet. Meanwhile, some other words are coming back into rotation, and some of them I don't think should, like the R word. I don't know why people are still using that. I don't know. It's hard to unlearn those social norms, man, once you adopt them. Oh, so I got to come up with some new words for crazy, maybe. I don't know. But the camel pose is crazy. How about that? What if I just use the same word but with a different inflection? I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable or whatever. Austin Powers. Oh. Crazy. Oh my. So at the end of class, the yogi said she's leaving in a few weeks. That stinks. She was great. I had a great class today, man. Every once in a while you experience that instructor who you haven't seen in a while. I walked in and she recognized me. Oh, welcome back. It's been months. Like she's guilting me. She didn't say that. I was imagining that. I think she was looking me up on the computer, like, where's this guy been? Well, I've been at the other studio, but I recognized her. I remember, oh yeah, she's good, and I was very excited as we go through the flow. Although I was right there next to her, looking like a tool. You know, it was bad. I was sweating all over the place. It is what it is. Bottom line, poor mat selection. It will throw you off. I mean, for the first 10 minutes of class, I was like, I don't think I'm in the right spot. But once you sit down, it's difficult to get up and like recalibrate, you know? It's not easy to reestablish your position. It doesn't, because then people wonder why, you know, like, what have you done? No, actually, no one cares. You're overthinking things as usual. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I'm sore, but I'm committed. And I'm finished with class. Those other suckers are still just getting started in the 7:15 class, so that makes me feel good. Whenever I have an ache and pain, I'm gonna remember that I beat them, and that's gonna power me through the day until the next time I subject myself to this torturous craft. Thank you very much for joining me. Avoid all camel poses. Horizon lunges, chair twists, and anything in that neighborhood. It's my advice to you. Have a great day. Namaste, mofos.